Donna, Osoyoos, Oliver, and vicinity appear to be holding their own Thursday. The fire is still very active and dangerous and likely grew overnight, where they came close to having some very catastrophic damage. Late Wednesday night, things were looking much worse. Strong winds blew the fire up, and for a time it was threatening homes on Spirit Ridge. None of those homes were damaged, but some reports had the fire reaching people's driveways. Those homes are on property owned by the Osoyoos Indian Band, which is where most of the fire has been burning. Osoyoos Band Chief Clarence Louie said the situation is a reminder of how careful people need to be with these extreme conditions.
Stay out of the backcountry. We just went through record heat waves in this province, record heat waves. And it's so dry out there, it's unnormally dry.
This is also the heart of BC's wine country. And for many wineries and tasting rooms here, hopes of a sweet recovery from the pandemic have been dashed.
Unfortunately, we are losing some of our tourism, but I think just keeping everybody safe and keeping the community safe is the best steps that we could take.
And the Inkameep fire is only one of the many serious fires burning in British Columbia right now. Further north, in Sicamous, the mayor had to scold reckless boaters who've been threatening the operation of water tanker planes loading up on Shuswap Lake.
If you come to our community and you're here, or you're coming to it, you got to respect the situation that's happening here right now. Just think about it. Think about it, be smart, be respectful.
So for British Columbians, many of them who might be feeling like they're at their wits' end after several weeks of extreme wildfires, some of the promised help is close to being here. We're a bit hazy on the exact time frame, but we're expecting several dozen firefighters from Mexico to be arriving here in Osoyoos and to be based out of here. It's also worth noting that across the province, where normally you would see active logging taking place right now, where there is wildfire danger, a lot of those people and machines that would be used in logging have been seconded to help fight these wildfires. Donna?
So much help needed. Paul Johnson in Osoyoos, BC, thanks. Wildfires respect no boundaries, of course, and in the U.S., dozens of fires are burning in the West, sending smoke all the way across the country, prompting air quality advisories as far away as New York City. Oregon's Bootleg fire is the largest in the country, so big it can be seen from space, and so out of control, it's generating its own weather system. It's one of more than 80 fires burning out of control across 13 states. Jennifer Johnson on what's fueling them and the impact they're having, even on people who live thousands of kilometers away.
Thousands of firefighters are still unable to control Oregon's massive Bootleg fire, 2 weeks after it was sparked by lightning. The fire has destroyed more than 162,000 hectares of forest and land. Crews from as far away as Arkansas and Alaska have been called in to help.
It's going to take a lot more boots on the ground to get this under control.
The fire is so huge, its smoky haze has spread across the entire country, forcing air quality warnings for millions.
I was having a little trouble with trying to catch my breath and breathing.
Health officials in New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania are telling people with heart and lung conditions to stay inside.
We're worrying more about fine particles, and these fine particles can really irritate the inner linings of the lungs and cause respiratory problems.
Poor air quality from so many fires, another result of climate change, which has created tinderbox conditions throughout the West.
The impacts of climate change may be seen in many different ways, including droughts, floods, increased storms, wildfires, both in terms of extent and intensity.
The Bootleg fire is one of dozens turning the West into a giant fireball. California's Tamarack fire is spreading so fast it has now crossed state lines into Nevada.
We got 10 minutes to get in and get what we can get, and then it's time to leave.
California's largest utility, Pacific Gas and Electric, is now pledging to bury tens of thousands of kilometers of power lines after its equipment possibly touched off the Dixie Fire near the town of Paradise, which was destroyed by the Camp Fire 3 years ago.
We are committing today to undertake one of the largest infrastructure projects in the history of our state, starting in our highest fire threat districts.
In the meantime, these fires remain explosive and uncontained. with the worst the wildfire season along the West Coast still expected to come in August and September. Jennifer Johnson, Global News, Washington.